Little Shaky Girl by Rocco Silvers. Read by Rocco Silvers. A rude book written in a screenplay style format with situational comedy, some uncivil drama and a bit of antisocial commentary thrown in for bad measure, and set over four warm days in the summer of 2017 in 4 acts. Acknowledgements. I'm so glad to be able to thank my lovely, highly disabled wife and all the representatives of West London's law enforcement community who have chosen to provide us with a LlTTLE material to work with at this time. All the recommended tunes inside are just suggestions, and I don't know whether I'm allowed to use them, but I willingly defer to the expertise of anyone in film broadcast media who is responsible for soundtracks, production and music sourcing. Naturally, all views and opinions expressed in my tale are not necessarily my own beliefs, but would sincerely apologise in advance for any offence taken or distress caused. I do sincerely hope you all enjoy the woe, and please remember, people, that no matter who you are and what you do to give, strive and connive, there are still dumb things that make us all insane. You, me, them, everybody. Okay. Right. Little Shaky Girl. Background. A 4-part situational comedy in a screenplay format about a middle-aged fella, Al, who's lived a life and is now mainly living for his lovely, highly disabled wife, Nick, who needs a LlTTLE care. Both are trying to enjoy a family life as best they can, despite their compromised circumstances and the machinations of too many in local officialdom, amongst others, who seek to exploit her frailty. Al plus Nick see laughter, live music, home-cooked munch as good medicine, as well as keeping out of harm's way if they can. In his efforts to find a woman who can lighten his load, as well as provide companionship for him and his wife, he's openly chasing a Cuban sex worker, Daisy. But not all is as it seems. So, if Nick and Al are to get juiced by officials working under the guise and protection of some of the local authority and too many who purport to care, he may as well be hung for a mule as a fool and do his best to protect his wife regardless. Al is writing another book, which is an unwelcome distraction, as respite is rare and largely confined to localised scooter runs, to hang out with friends who share a common love in both kinds of music, rhythm and blues. Meanwhile, Nick and her part-time carer T are particularly enjoying a new spoof made-for-TV drama series called Il Duce, The Leader, about the lives and loves of Silvio Berlusconi. The screenplay is 4 separate days over the course of a week in the summer of 2017, set in and around the dirty, mighty Bush and Acton areas of the not-so-grand Duchy of West London, plus the low-lying and cheating wider surrounding social and geographical landscape. Okay, so that's the background. So if you're still listening, Nick is female, aged 47-ish, and is born and bred in London to Catholic Indian parents. Having trained and worked for many years as an accountant, she is now highly disabled with advanced MS plus Parkinsonians, after suffering a cracked skull as a result of being mugged some years earlier. Al is male, aged 50-ish, and is also London born and bred to Catholic Italian Austrian parents. Having trained himself as a teacher and disc jockey, he is now a full-time carer to his sweet and lovely, highly disabled wife. Nick and Al's home is a 1930s end terrace in West London, which has been adapted and made more open plan to accommodate their accessibility and operational needs, albeit the local authority have a housing crisis on their hands and perhaps have other ideas for their home. Okay, so Act 1, which I've called Day 1, yeah. Title, Party Headquarters, and it's later on in the previous week, summer 2017. And in brief, the day starts with Nick's health, personal and nursing care regime in readiness for the rest of the day's activities, structured around Al's own brand of 24/7 care. Friday lunchtime is date night, when Al takes his lovely highly disabled wife Nick for a long lunch on the terrace at a favourite restaurant, La Pomme de Terre, situated on a busy boutique side street in West London. An interlude with the cast of the royal family stroke the Windsors proves very poignant. Later that day, Al goes on his motor scooter to a local soul, ska and reggae music shop, Studio Line Records, to hang out with his mates, many of whom either produce music, make music, DJ or dance better than he can. Meanwhile, Nick is being cared for at home by T, a carer by profession, having migrated to the UK from Nigeria many years ago. They watch LlTTLE, a raunchy sitcom made-for-TV movie spoof about the lives and loves of Silvio Berlusconi. Later that evening, Al takes Nick to Sweetenanny, probably the best live music venue stroke hostelry in South London, which is renowned for its mini festival stroke carnival atmosphere with great bands, revellers, lights and street food aplenty. Al has befriended a Cuban sex worker named Daisy who is homesick. Okay. Day 1, party headquarters. Later on in the previous week, summer 2017, the actual script. Now the opening credits music is Tears of a Clown, the Merton Parkers, 1979. Opening credit graphics, old pickies of the London scene, 1960s, 1970s, 1980s. Okay, so day 1 and the first scene. Inside, open plan lounge stroke bedroom, and it's morning. Al is naked in bed with a scrunched duvet over his manhood and waist, plus legs akimbo and over the end of the bed with a floor fan cooling his feet. Naff loud alarm from cheap mobile sounds. There is a 60-inch TV screen on a 360 wall mount bracket over the end of his bed. Al doesn't wake up. Nick is wide awake and sitting near upright in her hospital bed, right next to Al's bed, which they've made look like one big bed with a topper mattress. She smiles lovingly at her husband and then glances at a blank screen on a 60-inch curved smart TV on a 360-degree wall-mounted swivel bracket. Nick goes back to smiling lovingly at her sleeping husband. Al, 15 minutes later, naff, loud cheap mobile phone alarm sounds again. This time Al, only half awake and still in the same position with eyes shut, reaches out for the chamber pot on a shelf by his bed and sticks his dick over the top of the pot, plus pisses in the jug, plus puts the jug back, plus then falls back asleep. Okay. Al, a further 15 minutes later, naff, annoying cheap mobile phone alarm sounds again. This time, again, only half awake and eyes still shut, Al reaches out for the chamber pot on a shelf by his bed and sticks his dick over the top of the pot, plus pisses in the jug again, but this time, almost finished, the piss overflows and trickles in his lap. Al wakes up, then grabs the TV remote next to the piss jug and doesn't say oh bugger. Al, hi sweetheart, I'll just put the telly on for you. Nick, oh thank you. Al. Scene goes back to Al. Puts YouTube on, the big TV, and plays All of My Life, Detroit Soul, 1969. Then rolls over to stroke the skin of his wife's shoulders, plus kiss her lips, plus smile at the face of his lovely, highly disabled wife. Oh, just like that. Right. Nick. Scene's on Nick. Or the camera pans to Nick, I should say. Smiles back in a loving, happy way. But she shakes a bit in the morning due to Parkinson's. So Al finds it difficult to plant one on her kisser, stroke lips. Both are now upright in bed. Al, Mustafa Leak! Nick, Mustafa Leak? Al, affirmatively, that's it. Me urethra moment. Nick, what's wrong with your chamber pot jug thingy? Al, it's full. Anyway, that's not what I'm talking about. Nick, well, what's that then? Al, what if I convert to Islam just so as I can have 2 wives? Nick, why? Al, make an honest woman of Daisy so that we can have an extra pair of loving hands around the place. Nick, I'd really like to meet her first. Al, I do feel an arsehole. Getting Daisy to sit on my face. Nick, you don't have to, Al. Al, I really like it. Nick, don't feel bad then, she's saving me a job. Al, I don't feel bad, I mean I really do feel an arsehole. With me nostrils. Nick, Nick, oh. Al, now I feel bad. Nick, why? Al, I'm thinking about Daisy sitting on my face just after I've kissed you on the lips. Nick, don't feel bad, just don't marry her. Al, gently smiling, you are lovely. I think you'll like her. Our souls could be lovely all together. And we could really do with another pair of hands around the house, that's all. Nick, jovially, our souls first, pair of hands second there. Al, ha, I love you. Some say that sex is like maths. Nick, how so? Al, divide the legs and pray one doesn't multiply. Nick, that's stupid. Al, yeah, I know. It was some shit post on Facebook, so I made a comment. Nick, what did you say? Al, I said, yeah, I know. It was some shit post on Facebook, so I made a comment. Nick, no silly, what did you write? Al, I wrote, sex is not like maths. With maths, 1 on 1 is 1. With sex, 1 on 1 is 2. If you multiply, then it could be more. Nick chuckles and coughs at the same time. Yeah. Chuckly cough part. Nick, did they reply? Yep. Nick, what did they say? Al, fuck off. Al plus Nick both chuckle and cough at the same time. Nick, so you hit the ha-ha icon button then. Al, no, the love one, lovely. Nick chuckles, then coughs, then smiles. Al, so sweetheart, our ass will make laughter abuse a safeguarding issue next. Good cough, by the way. Fingers, gestures on safeguarding, plus looks around. Back to arses again. Oh, Al looking puzzled. Oh, ass. Adult social services. Nick, oh well, they're only following orders, I suppose. Al, no, that's the SS. Mind you, I've heard our local authority is also known as Fortress Trumpton. Nick, that's the fanny steak for you. Ass, anti-social services. Al, perturbed look. Anyway, I heard our illustrious councils in parley with the music promotion giants Citadel and Lovebox to stage some major festivals next year, which should generate some cash. Nick, oh well, they call the tune, I just hope we like it. Al, either that or I'll have to turn my music up to drown it out. Or force us out. Environmental health is all the rage. A better world for ravers. They made it very clear they got no time for savers. Well, Nick, oh well. Ow, if it goes ahead, and it will, I'm going to suggest a rebranding exercise for Fortress Trumpton. I'm going with Citadel Love Box instead. Nick, a citadel being a fortress, yes? Ow, yup. And Love Box being a lady's front arse. Nick, oh well, that should help lighten the mood next time you call to account at their offices, sweetheart. Orifices, more like. But you're right, it may help lighten me load some next time I'm in. Could do with that kind of help. Nick, sniggers and then wheezes. Ow, good throat clearance, sweetie. Ow. Looks over his shoulder. Right. Tune playing in the background is Shake, the Pete Clint Quartet, 1966. Closing the scene. Okay. Scene 2.